Good afternoon. I'm in the warehouse district. This is where the Saskatchewan Book Awards offices are located, among many other offices. This used to be a General Motors office building, because right behind there, where I'm about to walk as I start this walk, was a General Motors car plant that, I believe it was the Depression that did it in. There was also a fire, I think, at some point. But anyway, I was dropping off books for the Saskatchewan Book Awards that I published through Shadowpaw Press. And then I thought, well, this was a good opportunity to walk in this area, and also because I had a request to go down to by the Sunset Strip Mall, which is on Broad Street, where we will end up. So that is the plan. So this is the old factory back here. We won't end up there, but that's where I will head to. And then I'll turn around and come back. Don't know how long that'll be. It may not be very long. But so yeah, this is the old factory. It's all, mostly boarded up now. I don't know if there's anything active in there right now or not. I have been down here before, but it's been a while. We'll take a fairly random walk to get over to Albert Street, which is not all that, Broad Street, which is not all that far. And then a different path back. And however long that takes is how long it takes. It may not be an hour today. But my friend, my subscriber anyway, or at least random passerby, had asked me a couple of times to go by the Sunset Strip Mall. I presume he knows somebody there that owns one of the businesses there. And he's probably overseas. I aim to please. I think you get kind of trapped down there, so I'll go down this way, which will also take us by another place I know well, which is the office of the Saskatchewan Writers Guild. So it's all kind of fenced over there, so I don't know what's in this part of this building, but once you get around the corner here, the Saskatchewan Writers Guild is in here, among other things. But that's the one I know best. They take up quite a bit of the lower floor. Johnson Controls apparently is in there, and the Saskatchewan Arts Alliance. Now, this is 8th Avenue. We are in what's called the warehouse district, although I think the bulk of it is kind of on the other side of Broad. It's where the bigger warehouses are. Back during the heyday of immigration, the early part of the century, last century, the warehouses were where people would buy, the stuff they needed to go out and homestead. Some of them anyway. And then there have been other things over the years. My favorite brew pub is in one now called Bushwhacker. But we won't go by it because it's on the other side of Broad. I will be on the wrong side from the Sunset Strip Mall, so I don't know if I'll cross Broad or not. Maybe I will. I think all of these were GMC buildings, all part of the same complex originally. They certainly have the same look. There's a fairly busy road along here. Now, what does it say? Cloud Rider Designs Limited. I don't know what they design. Cloud Riders, I guess, whatever that is. Now, let's see. If I mosey down there, how badly do I get trapped? That's the question. I think I get trapped down there too. So we won't go that way yet. It's another old... has the look of some sort of manufacturing or something, like you used to be able to drive in through that. I don't know. And again, I don't know what's in there now, if anything. Don't walk into that pillar. The old garage here looking more and more tattered every time I go by. Father's Furniture Gallery. I think this is where we bought our mattress, but it wasn't Father's Furniture Gallery at the time. Yeah, kind of deserted and dead looking down there for sure. It's about 17 degrees today, so a beautiful warm day, which is good because they're currently pouring concrete in our backyard for new sidewalks. And if we go down there, we can now turn the corner, so we'll do that. There's no sidewalks here, but I think down there you can go to the left. Probably could on the last block over. So again, this whole complex here, I'm sure, was all part of the GMC factory at one time, or associated buildings, simply because they all have the same look. Some of them have a... Can't tell if that's a GMC logo over the doors or not. I think it is. As I was saying, they're pouring concrete in our backyard for new sidewalks, and so a nice warm day will help it cure faster. He said we can walk on it tomorrow after 24 hours. So as you can see, this is a much more industrial area than I normally walk in, which is why I don't walk here very often. It's not exactly scenic, but makes a change anyway. Weston Foods. Distribution for grocery stores, I think. DAEPT Tech and Deco Interiors. That's all city stuff over there. That huge stockpile of gravel there. It's quite warm in the sun. Chilly now that I've turned the corner, though. Now, where am I? With regard to the Sunset Strip Mall. Yeah, this will work out quite well. Yeah, so around here are the loading docks for food distribution. There goes some now, presumably. Big truck. Might as well cross to the other side. Black and McDonald. I have no idea what a Black and McDonald does. Oh, there's no sidewalk on this side. Well, there isn't really on the other side either. They don't really expect pedestrians to walk along here. This old building coming up to the left is now high-end condos. I've been in one of them. It's quite beautiful in a sort of, used to be an industrial space sort of way. Big old wood beams and stuff like that. I think it's this one. Beautiful backyard. Behind a fence though, so you can't really see it. A1 Rentals, if you need to rent an A1. One call, rents all. Old sign on the side of that one. Tremaine Cartage. Originally, no longer. Yeah, this one is the one with the condos in it. Quite beautiful. Inside, not much to write home about outside. Actually, I think the strip mall is going to be up on my left here, so... Well, that's a pretty short walk. Maybe I'll go over to the other side and walk in that part of the Warehouse District 2. I smell smoke. She smells like a barbecue. Not sure where it's coming from. Could be wood burning. It's an antique store. Yeah, I'm sure that's the Sunset Strip Mall up there on the left, on the other side. So I should actually go back over to where I was. To avoid one cross that I'll have to make otherwise. That building there was a John Deere dealership with farm machinery inside it on multiple floors, so it has massively thick wooden floors. For a long time there was a tale that it was a duplicate of the Texas School Book Depository that Lee Harvey Oswald was in when he shot President J.F. Kennedy. But apparently that's an old wives' tale. We're lucky. Oh, not that lucky. Don't know how long I've got to cross. 16, 15, I can still make it. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfectly safe. Okay, well, here we go. This is where I was asked to come. Here it is. This is the Sunset Strip Mall. So we've got a printing and a cannabis shop, a nail store, Shul family restaurant, Vietnamese, Chinese, and Thai cuisine right there. That might be the place of interest. Hair episode, and the sign that just says Sunset Strip Mall down here. So I hope whomever asked to see that he's probably not watching right now because he hasn't said anything, but hopefully he'll notice it later on if he takes a look. That's what it looks like. Okay, now then, that's been only 13 minutes, so it's too early to go straight back. So let me think. Either I go up there or I go back this way a bit. Or both. Let's go this way. We'll zigzag over into the other part of the warehouse district here without being very thorough, and then head back again. This auto parts or auto store garage has been here a long time. I think we can go down the alley here. Of course, the Sunset Strip Mall there replaced another one that burned down. There was a restaurant in that one too, and the fire seems to have started in the restaurant. So it's relatively new. I remember eating in, it was called Dalat by Night, I think, Vietnamese restaurant. It was one of our favorites, but it burned. Well, we'd been there a few times if we were thinking Vietnamese food. I think it was called, there were two of them. There was another one called Saigon by Night, but I think that was Dalat by Night there. And I don't know if the Vietnamese restaurant that's there now is the reincarnation of that, or what. You see, most of these buildings date back well over 100 years now, or at least 100 years, and often more. This used to be a dance studio, and for a while it's where my daughter's theater group, and one of my best friends is artistic director of Do It With Class Young People's Theater, and they were using that for a while, but they've now moved to the Southland Mall where they have more space. so they can actually tape out a stage that's as big as the one they perform on, which you couldn't do in there. That's a really old building, and that's made out of very early extruded brick, so they were made on the spot by a machine to build the building. So it's actually historic for that reason, even though it's not exactly anything special to look at. I won't walk down Dudney because I do that quite often. I'll stay over on this side. From here I have to take the car and park it at our condo and then walk home because they're cleaning leaves off our street tomorrow and you have to have your car moved. Our yard is still full of leaves, but I think I'm going to hire somebody to clean it up. I've done that the last couple of years and they do a much better job. This Warehouse Brewing Company used to be a bakery. You used to smell the baking bread whenever you walked along here. And over there, it's a very nice building. I don't remember what the name of it is anymore, but it's in my book, Historic Walks of Regina and Moose Jaw. So is this. But it's been a while since I read that book, even though I wrote it. The Everyday Kitchen. Not sure what that is. Kitchen supply store, I guess. Sourdough Donuts and Coffee Bar. Oh, it's an actual coffee place. I had no idea that was there. Looks like it might be a nice place to sit and work. Except I usually walk to a Brewed Awakening, which is an easy walk if I want to go sit in a coffee shop. This would be too far for an easy walk. It's not a hard walk, but I spend more time walking than less time riding. Which is what I want to get to next this afternoon. My YA book that I've been stalled on for literally years is finally flying along, and I don't want to lose my momentum. I did 3,000 words each way on the plane. Almost 2,000 yesterday, but that was replacing that number that I somehow lost. So I had to completely rewrite a scene I'd already written, which is very annoying. And you always feel like the new version isn't as nice as the original version, or isn't as good. So downtown is right down there. That's the Sastel building, the gold one. And you get a lot of small stores in here. So there's Floors here, Co-op Taxi. I often use their taxis. Audio Supply. Off the Leash Pet Grooming. Prairie Controls Limited. Outlaw Trail Spirits. Be a distillery. I don't know if they do it here. They do it somewhere else. That's just their office. Plumbing and Heating. Oof. A lot of signs. Signs, everywhere sign. And some places that might still be houses. It's hard to be sure down here. I'm kind of winding my way back now, but I'll go further up here, and I think I can go all the way up to 4th in this direction. Although it can be hard to cross some of these streets because of the traffic. Richardson Lighting, we bought lighting there, quite a bit of lighting there. Klein's Electric. Pat's Pets is one of our local pet stores. Your one-stop local pet shop. Let's see if I can get a clear space here to cross safely. Here so. And there's an old house still here. So far nobody has said hello this afternoon. I don't know if anybody's watching live or not. Alternatives, Funeral and Cremation Services. I had no idea that was there either. the electronics. Ruggieri Total Production Services. Oh, I'm familiar with them. If they're still in there, because there's a for lease sign on the building. Over my years of doing theater, I'm sure I've been in there to rent stuff. Oh, somebody said hello. Marijuana. Hello. I've kind of turned the corner, heading back. My car's parked down over by the old GMC building, the corner of 8th and Winnipeg. This building and the one behind it, once upon a time, was Western Machine and Engineering, which belonged to my wife's grandfather, whose memoirs I published, One Lucky Devil, his First World War memoirs. So I was in there when it was still a machine shop, but that was a long time ago. And behind it, which was kind of their big workspace, has been turned into condos, which I would never have thought when I was in there, when it was still like, with all the lathes and everything back there. Can we cross safely? Always the question. Looks like it. Refrigerative supply. Probably cross here now. Get that over with. Street sweeper. Oh, there's Wolseley here. We bought plumbing stuff from, and buying more from them actually, for the little extension with a half bath we're building. A powder room, I guess they call it. Although I don't anticipate I'll be using any powder. This is the receiving side of it. I've only been in the showroom side of it. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. See what I did there? That was a little pun. I slay me. My wife hates Danny boy, by the way. Just thought you'd like to know. Those trees up ahead mark the Regina Cemetery. Sort of the main one, the oldest one anyway. I'm not going that far. I'll turn down 5th. It's hard to walk down up there. There's not really a sidewalk, and it's just a long stretch of red brick, so we'll go this way instead. More city stuff over there, I believe. Possibly Sask Power, actually. That looks like transformers and things. Not really sure. This side looks friendlier than this side. So the big building that'll come up on our left used to be the Sears warehouse. That is an old tractor. I've seen older, but that's a pretty old one. An antique for sure. Antique. All engines must be shut off. Fortunately, I don't have one. It's a long, straight road. However, there is a pedestrian crossing at the end of it I intend to take advantage of. Down there, that big building was also, well, originally that was the Eaton's building. And before that, that was where the Rough Riders played when they first started, when they were still a rugby team, actually, I think they were playing there. Now it has kind of a permanent, not exactly a farmer's market, but kind of. Craft stores, little booths and things. Sometimes wondered if I should go there every weekend and try to sell books. Probably not what people are looking for, and probably it wouldn't go, but I still think of it. You can see the towers, such as they are, of downtown there, in the distance. In the distance, the towers look quite small, even though they're very big. Trying to think of a rhyme for big so I could carry that on, but all I could think of in the distance. A sow's no size at all, even though it's still a pig. Edward is watching you. Edward is watching you. Edward is watching you from a distance. He is live streaming you. He is live streaming you. He is live streaming you from a distance. Okay, that's enough of that. Another old building. Lots of them around here, roughly the same age. We will cross over because, as I said, there is a pedestrian crosswalk here, which makes it much safer because this is a very wide road with lots of traffic on it. That karate place has been in there. I rehearsed in that building up on the top floor way back with, must have been Thai Productions. I think we rehearsed the Fantastics in there, which was maybe one of the first shows I did with them. A lot of car dealerships along here. BMW over there. My Volvo guy used to be over there, but he's not there anymore. Nissan over here, Infiniti. Now, I'll have to, my options are actually limited coming this way. But I'll go as far as I can before I have to zigzag back to the right again. So all these cars mostly belong to the dealership, I think, and are for sale. They sell used cars as well as new cars. Yeah, the little white building down there, that was where the guy that used to work on Volvos, and we have two of them, that's where he was. I don't know why I ended up pointing at the sky there. But he left, or got out of the business unexpectedly. I called to make an appointment and he wasn't there anymore. He closed down the business. Even though I gave him the business all the time. Mercedes SUV. Yeah, well, you can only go so far this way before you have to zig back to the right. It says Shack Shop, but it's supposed to say the Shake Shop. Sometime the E has come off. I don't know what those guys are doing up there. Maybe they're replacing the E. It's possible. Pretty weedy along here. We'll zig down this street to the right, I think. You may recall those things over there that we saw from the other direction. Continental Furniture, Appliances, and Mattresses have been in there not that long ago. What were we looking at? Oh, wine fridge for the back area that we are expanding. And then we were in there looking at dryers, but fortunately we didn't need one because it turned out what seemed a terminal problem was not for the one we have. Actually getting pretty close back to the car now, so it still won't have been a really long walk. What am I at here? 38 minutes? Yeah, probably only about 45 by the time I get back to the car. But a good taste of the warehouse district. Although why you would want to taste the warehouse district, I'm not quite sure. Although there are good things to taste in the warehouse district, like the aforementioned Bushwhacker beer. And Rebellion, also good. And there was that coffee shop I went by that I didn't know existed. I may have to come check that one out as a possible writing place some morning. Alright, I think we can zig again to the left. There's castle furniture over there. A man's couch is his castle. That's not their slogan, but it could be. Now, sure, it looks like you can keep going that way, but that actually takes you into restricted territory. Razor wire. Always a friendly sight. John Street, but yes, up ahead of us then is all city. St. John Yard Asphalt Production, there you go. Specifically what it's called. Where they produce asphalt, or asphalts, depending on what part of the world you're from and your preferred pronunciation. Globe Elite Electrical Contractors. Warehouse District Medical Clinic. Oh, I didn't know there was a medical clinic over here either. And over there's where the car is, that red brick, those red brick buildings over there. So still got a little ways to go. Seems to be a lot of truck traffic along this particular street. Cinderella's what? Cinderella's Sewing and Quilting. Never heard of that before either. But my sewing and quilting needs are minute. Now let's see, here's Weston again. So we actually came along here. So this time I'll go down to, we'll still end up with some duplication of effort, but won't be quite the same. Assuming I can cross safely. Sidewalks are non-existent or overgrown in some places along here. I don't know if there ever were sidewalks. Hard to tell. Here we have In the Flesh custom tattooing. Also something my needs for which are minute, or rather entirely non-existent. I've never seen the appeal. Certainly I know people with tattoos, but it's not for me. nor piercing. I have nothing pierced, nor will anything ever be pierced, unless it's done to me involuntarily, which seems unlikely. Christian and Tom over here is a very old building. Small engines, I think, is what that was originally. I'm not sure it still is or not. And I think we can cross safely, so we will. Once we get to the next corner, I will unfortunately be repeating myself a little bit, but only a little bit. And it is going in the other direction, so it's an entirely different experience. Caliber Coffee Roasters. Coffee Roastery Showroom Tasting Bar. Only seems a little pretentious. They obviously sell roasters and don't just make coffee, I guess. Laminated countertops. Okay, so this is where I turned off of 8th, going the other way. Now I will continue down it. So for a couple of blocks it's a repeat, and then there's a little section that I didn't actually walk on the outward leg. Better look at Father's Furniture Gallery. I don't know what it was originally. It might be in my book, but I'm not sure. Only a few more special old buildings are in there, so there's still lots that didn't make it. I didn't really select them. The Regina Historical Society has developed walking tours, which I liberally cribbed from and added additional material as I could. And added a few buildings, like our house, which I thought should be in there, because I knew something about it. All the streets over here are named after other Canadian cities. So you get Toronto, St. John, etc., Halifax. And the busiest one up ahead is Winnipeg. But we won't quite get there. There's Cloud Rider Designs again, still designing those Cloud Riders. Which actually sounds like the premise for a fantasy story. I could totally write a fantasy story about Cloud Riders. Possibly even a science fiction story if I played the technology right. Yep, it's another beautiful day, but there's colder weather coming next week for sure. So this may be the last gasp of really warm weather. They were showing snow, but then when I checked today, that didn't seem to be there anymore. Not on the day they were showing it anyway. And that's the day I have to go to Saskatoon next Wednesday, so I'm hoping it doesn't snow that day. That's for a book launch, Vickwood by Gail M. Smith, launching that day at Amigos Cantina in Saskatoon. If you're in Saskatoon, come to Amigos at 7 p.m. We'll be in the back room. You can order whatever you like. You're paying for it. But you can also hear the reading and talk about Shadowpaw Press. I'll have a bunch of books there, but especially the new one. But I'll have some others from Shadowpaw Press available as well. And then the following night, doing it again in the Arizona room at Bushwhacker here in Regina. So, Print West over there is a big printing company that I've worked on things that were printed there once or twice. And here we are again at the former GMC office building, and this is where my car is. So I will stop right up here with a view of the building. And that's it for today. Thanks for walking with me. I should be back tomorrow. We'll see. Bye for now.